We all know Jay-Z and Diddy have a close relationship, but with Diddy making headlines for all the wrong reasons, Ice Cube has stepped forward with some startling revelations.
A lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers. The important thing is, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think. And, some people may get pissed off because I'm going.
Diddy began his music industry journey as an intern at a radio station around the same time Jay-Z was making his way into the scene. One of the earliest major events in his career was co-hosting a celebrity basketball game at City College of New York. However, the event ended in tragedy when a stampede broke out, leading to the deaths of 9 people. At the time, Mayor David Dinkins criticized Diddy for failing to ensure that experienced organizers were in charge, especially since the event was oversold. After spending some time at Uptown Records, Diddy went on to establish Bad Boy Records in 1993. One of his first major successes.
These kind of things in his actions when I knew him or when I was around him. Did I see him have those bursts of violence? Just not on. You'd be like, he did it. If you've seen that, it was another video. He won some. He just over cocky. That's why he got fired from Uptown. He's over. What do you call someone who's overly confident? To the point to where it's called arrogance. Right? He's arrogant. Nothing wrong with being arrogant, but when you're arrogant and you do it in spiteful ways, then, so when I seen that and I reflect, and I'm like, man, I do remember seeing him be being physically violent towards females. I seen him be physically violent towards producers, other record execs, even artists. Always those kind of stories, man. But those stories are seen from the inside out, not from the outside in. So it's just like, sometimes you can tell, as a man, you'd be like, look, we're going to need a fair one or we a one-on-one, a fair one-on-one. And we fight as men so we can come to we can come to a resolution, right? So sometimes we fight as men, but you see that sometimes they fight, they keep fighting. They fighting with women. They fighting with people. They fighting with love. They fighting with they self. I seen him fight with his own self. I seen him be violent to his own self. Forget anybody else. I seen him beat his own self up.
Wow. What you mean by that?
Meaning you putting yourself through so much stuff. You beating your own self up. You bringing yourself down with whatever kind of things you need at that time, whether it be alcohol, whether it be pills or whatever it is that you need. Sometimes people get addicted to pills. And when they get addicted to pills, that it alters the ego. All of that kind of stuff, devices. I seen it all, man.
And you said that you seen him get physical with his own artists?
Meaning like, producers, mainly the hitmen. Mainly the producers. And what I mean by physical, it'd be like, sometimes it might be a physical fight between him and someone else. And you say, wow, you're fighting even with your own artists. You're fighting when you go home. You're fighting with people in your office. You're fighting with your girlfriend. You're fighting with me. You just want to fight everybody, don't you? That's what, when you think of that name, that might be what he defines bad boy. It's really about that energy that he feels like what makes him. That's what makes.
Diddy rose to prominence in the music industry during the heated rivalry between the West Coast and East Coast in the 90s, a defining era in hip-hop and gangster rap. This feud, particularly the tension between Suge Knight, the founder of Death Row Records, and rapper Tupac Shakur, ultimately led to the tragic murders of both Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G. Although Diddy was never directly—
I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, Kim was the longest working employee. She was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's person. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost. Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and I said, no. You want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a— Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, I speak for a reason. When you see this bullshit motherfucking game with people that you love, that you like, you know, it's too many coincidences.
Too many. You
Honeycomb.
Oh. Stamp it.
We gonna get you and your little dog too.